Welcome to episode 9, one quick Barra swap. Now in this episode, our radiator's turned up, so hopefully we'll get that fitted. Wouldn't be an XF Falcon if it didn't have a broken door handle, so rang the guys some Bursons, $25, they're still on the shelf. We got one of them. We'll do a bit of R&D on our sway bar, and a bit of luck, some more exhaust parts will turn up, and the boys will put the new 3-inch system in.
Alright, we've finally got our eBay special radiator turn up. We'll cut her open, see how it's going to fit in the car, see what brackets we've got to make up to make it all sit there properly, and try and plumb it up from that. Alright, so the radiator fits in there really well actually. Pretty much to mount that, all you'll have to do is sits on rubber isolators at the bottom, so that won't rub through or anything like that. So drill 2 holes through the centre of the radiator support here, 2 through the radiator itself, and isolate it with a fibre washer or a rubber grommet, bolt it up, and happy days. So I'm going to bolt the anchor that's top of the radiator and a little rubber isolator to go in between the two, so it takes any vibration off the aluminium. We'll try and fit this up and then try and figure out some hoses and some fans and work on from that. Alright, so I've just been down the back and made up a quick fan shroud for this and fitted the fans up to it, give her a bit of a paint job. Should be able to put it in the car now, fit it off for the last time, dig up a few hoses for it and hopefully keep the ball rolling on it. Alright, so I sent Mark off to go and grab some hoses for it. He's come back with a hose off a Mitsubishi of some breed, so this should work as our top hose pretty good. So I'll mark that and cut it down to where we need to cut it. Alright, so I've cut the hose down the side. So got a bit of Permatex non-hardening seal in here. I always put a bit on the hoses just to make it a bit easier to slip on and give it a better seal when it's done. And there's that bit done. We'll just send Mark off to find another one for the bottom hose because the one he brought back was not quite right. So we'll do that. In the meantime, we'll push the car forward and we'll whack a door handle in it. Alright, so I'll pull the door card and stuff off and find out it doesn't have a broken door handle. It's just got a bent actuator rod in there, so bent the rod, all works fine now. So we'll just throw the old one, the new one that we got in the glove box because it's sure to break at some point soon enough.
Righto, so we're going to move on to the exhaust system now. So we have a look down here on the ground. Jamie started to lay a few parts out, so a couple lengths of straight. Now we're running a 3-inch system to try and give us clearance to keep the engineer happy. We've got our cat, so that's been checked with the engineer, so we've got the right size. We've got a muffler and he's grabbed a couple of bends out. So if he runs short, we'll obviously go at the back, we'll grab a few more off the shelf. So let's set the camera up and let's see how Jamie goes. Alright, so we've still got our guys doing the exhaust system, but our local auto elec has turned up. We're going to try and work out the aircon. So condenser is going to rough it in. We've pinched a few pipes off the Barra, a few off the factory car. Once we get all laid out and we work out exactly how we're going to do it, we'll let you guys know, but that's what's happening at the minute.
Alright, so Griffo's tacked up the exhaust on the car. It's only going to be a one-off system for this car due to the fact that it runs a different exhaust manifold to what a standard one is, so it depends on what you're going to run, so we can't really do a production style of thing. So he's got 3-inch dump pipe into the converter, then he's put a hanger back here into the muffler on it. There's another 2 hangers here and it goes out the back. We're going to use it for, if we're going to race it, we'll dump it off here and just put a little dump pipe on here. Mark's not here, so I'm doing the talking today for some reason. So we're going to get this off the car, get Griffo to TIG it all together and get it back on the car and get it happening. Alright, Griffo's just off welding the exhaust up for it at the moment. We've had a few things come in, so we've got some silicone hose come in, just random stuff that we ordered from Motorsport Connection, so we'll try and rough in a bit of plumbing with that. We've got the intercooler turn up, bit of an eBay special. So we'll try and get that in, but we can't fit it off because we don't know where the condenser is going to actually end up yet. So we're going to rough the condenser in. We've got the lines from the existing XF air conditioning. We've got some lines off a BA we had up the back. We're just going to try and piece them together, figure out what we've got to make flexi hose and barb wires to plumb it all back together. Got a heater tap turn up, so we can probably run some heater hoses and stuff on it. We're just going to do pretty much just little bits and pieces and try and get it one step closer to being done. So we're using the factory BA lines because it's running the factory BA compressor, so we need to use what comes factory on that engine versus what comes factory under the dash. So then when we come to the dash side of things, we'll use the stuff that come from the XF, and even if we have to make a flexi hose from this here to go back to what's under the dash already, and hopefully it all works. Bit of old factory XF stuff. This is on the other side on an XF, so we'll just use the plate off it and end up having to probably cut the hose back after there somewhere and put a barb on it and a bit of flexi hose, get it crimped on by a local hydraulic place. So I've got a couple of 90-degree bends that we've just found laying around. Going to put them on the intercooler to start with because it's going to have a 90 to get back out around the radiator anyway, so before I even put it in place. We've just finished mocking up the intercooler setup and the hot and cold pipes for it. Just using bits and pieces we've had sitting around and a few bends that we got from Motorsport Connection. So we're going to run this pipe up and over the backside of the turbo and into the intake manifold, which we know isn't an ideal setup for this. It's going to make our cold air hot, but to keep that standard inlet manifold and that exhaust manifold that we've got, we're sort of run out of options, and to retain the air conditioner on the other side, so we are where we are. So as far as the cooler piping and stuff goes, we'll leave it there for the minute. I'll fit the exhaust off and then we can continue on with our cold pipe and hope for the best with it. So Jamie's just finished welding up the exhaust. We're going to take that into the spray booth now, give it a coat of jam before we fit it up to the car. Alright, so we've got the pipes painted now, we'll fit it up to the car. That's the exhaust all fitted up to it. We've plumbed our cooler pipes and stuff as much as we can at the minute. So hopefully next time we'll be able to finish off our cooler pipes, finish off our AC pipes and just do some tidying up on some plumbing and wiring. So remember, like and subscribe. See you next time.